Hello. My name is Dr. Rebecca Wagenbach. I want to welcome everybody to American Government, POLS 1013. This is the online section. If you saw my syllabus, it still had maybe some times on it. Disregard those. This is the online section in this class. I believe I've made the changes, but first of all, if you guys see anything that looks funky to you, um, isn't what's in the syllabus or isn't what I said, feel free to call me out on it. I am teaching several sections of the same class, some in person, some online, some 8 weeks, some second 8 weeks, and trying to remember six different CRN numbers in my head. Um, it is difficult. And so please, if you see anything that seems weird, reach out to me via email, um, and I'll look into it. Chances are it's weird and I need to fix something. And so that's the first thing I want to say. So other than that, I just want to welcome everybody. A lot of you are first-time freshmen or concurrent students. And so I just want to let you know that I'm here to make your first couple of online college classes as painless as possible. It won't be super easy. I'm, I try not to just, give you an A, but it is, if you do the work, you can get an A in my class. If you don't do the work, it's not going to work out for you. You're going to see big fat zeros on your Canvas shelves, and you don't want that. That makes your grade go away. And so let me go ahead and share my screen if it will work. Um, hmm. Give me 1 second. Okay. The share's always a little weird. And with the two desktops, you just never know. Okay, I think that's the right one. Okay. So this is your Canvas shell for this class. This CRN number can help you remember. I'm trying to be like 29 online, so that I remember that the 29 is my online section. Um, this is your home page. You have some navigation tools here in the middle. You can go to the course syllabus, you can go straight to the course modules, or you can go over here um, and check things out to the left. I'm going to go ahead and click on the syllabus. This is an online class. The textbook is free. It is online. I will navigate that here um, after we navigate this. And some learning outcomes here. There's the link to your textbook, though it is also there in the Canvas shell or in week one module. Um, learning outcomes, but in order to get points in this class, I have discussion questions every week. I will have not pop quizzes, that shouldn't be there. I will have quizzes likely every week, though I'm not going to start one this week. It'll probably be next week. One of the things I urge you to do is pay attention to your due dates. Um, there's a calendar that you can click on that shows you these due dates. I think I might not be able to get it from this page because my screen is in the way. But be cognizant of the due dates. With an online class, you do need to have some self-discipline. So my recommendation is to block off the same time every day or every week and work on my class. Read the chapter. that I'm asking you to read, watch one or all of the videos, um, to kind of put maybe some of the things you've read into context. I will do a lecture some weeks, maybe half the weeks, definitely not all of the weeks, just depending on time and how well I think the other material actually covers the course content. Because if, the guy at Crash Course says it better than me and has all the funky graphics and cool things, there's really no point in making you guys watch me say the same thing. Um, I also do not have, I'm going to need to make some changes here to this syllabus. So there is no um, participation grade in this class because it is online. Your attendance will be marked by your submission of your homework. So if you submit your homework, your attendance is covered. There is this statement here on student wellness that I'd like to go over. I do understand that life is kind of tough right now for a lot of people. And it probably always has been. Most people just didn't talk about it. And so, if you are struggling with something, it is so easy to not care about your online class. Even as an instructor, my online classes are certainly not the first thing I think about when I wake up in the morning. And so it's not going to be because I don't have to go to them. I don't have to carry something. Um, I don't have to put it on my calendar, things like that. And so I understand. If you are struggling, reach out to these two places here, the Academic Resource Center, if you are struggling academically and I am just unable to, like, if you're struggling with Canvas, if you're struggling with uh really anything tech related, you can kind of go there if you're they can get you to the right place. And then disability services. There's counseling services in the ARC. Not necessary. You can talk to Crawley occasionally, but then we also do have the telemed and the timely care options as well. That you have 6 free sessions, and then any emergency sessions are also free, is what I believe I was told. So, as I told my in-person classes, please take care of yourself. Reach out for the resources that you have. As somebody who, elder millennial, I'm almost 40, and certainly would have never reached out for help at your age and struggle to do so now. But just the little I have reached out has made a huge difference. And so I urge you guys all to do the same. Um, Basically, that is the outline of the first 8 weeks, though you can see that in the book once we get to that. So that's a little bit of a breakdown of the syllabus. Oh, going back to how you get points in this class. So there'll be a discussion question, there'll be some quizzes, and then there will be 2 media writing assignments, or there's an assignment starting in week 8. You will have an additional area of discussion or some sort of assessment. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to set it up yet. Probably in a discussion forum format where you will actually track a media source and comment um, on the source as we go through the last of the 8 weeks. And then as part of your final, or in addition to your final, you will submit an essay worth 50 points that assesses and puts everything that you have seen from this news source into perspective with the things that we talk about in this class. And there will be an outline that tells you exactly what you need to know. Um, but I will share a video with instructions for that once we get closer to our media chapter, which happens in about week 8 in this class. And then I do have the midterm and final. They are multiple choice um, tests. I do throw in an occasional essay question, but it is more about your feelings and your opinions. They are open book, open note, but I do urge you to study because I will not be giving you hours and hours to complete the test. And so you will need to at least have your resources up and understanding how to navigate them if you want to be successful with your midterm and final. If you have any questions at all, um, my um, email address is rebecca.wagenbach@opsu.edu. It's there on the syllabus, and I believe on the homepage. If it's not, I'll get it added. You can also send me a direct message here on Canvas. It comes to my email. One thing I will say is if you do send me messages in the grade book, I do not get notifications. Um, so like if I submit a grade and you write back and say, "Oh, I didn't do this right," I don't actually get those notifications. I don't see that unless I go back to the grade book, which I probably won't do. And so make sure you're communicating with me via the message tool on Canvas or via email. You can also call me. My office number is 580-349-1413. If you do call, please leave me a voicemail. It goes also right to my email. And I'm not going to call you back. If you don't leave a voicemail, I'm not going to call you back. So please leave a voicemail, or send an email. Learn to communicate. That's part of being in college. Um, so I'm going to move to the book now. I'm going to click this. I'm going to make sure this is what I'm sharing. Okay. This is your textbook. OpenStax is a open educational resource that comes from Rice University in Houston. Um, it's peer reviewed and written by top scholars. And so, mm, sorry, I use this book because it is free and it is quality and it's very easily digestible. Um, each chapter is broken down into sections. Um, Each one is, probably, each section is just a couple of pages. You can also, let me go back to this page. You can also download a PDF of the book. So if you are wanting to hold something in your hand and read it, you can download this as a PDF. And you don't have to download the whole book. You can download a couple of pages. Um, or you can download the whole book. You don't have to print the whole book. You can just print a couple of pages of that PDF. If you need help with how to do that, I would maybe go to the library for assistance. If you're not accessible to OPSU's public or library, um, a public library may also be able to help you with that. Um, and so going back to the book, you do not have to pay. Um, if you want to, that's up to you, but this is a free book. So, navigating these chapters, like I said, you can go from section to section. Key terms here, I would check them out before test because there very well may be um, answers to test questions there. One of my favorite things that I like about this book is this summary that they have here in the back of each chapter. So each section, I mean, it's just a very easily digestible, very easy to read paragraph that kind of puts things into perspective. I recommend either reading this before or after you browse the full chapter and definitely perusing it before a test. It's a good way to cram. Not that I recommend cramming, but sometimes you have to. A lot of the discussion question or review questions, a lot of your quizzes will come directly from the back of the book. Um, I actually throw in a little bit myself because I kind of use some other resources for assessment, but good chunk will come here. A good chunk of your discussion questions will come from this section of the book. I ask you not to use AI on your discussion questions. I will be spot checking them. I do have it set up to where it's supposed to let me know if you used AI. Um, but we'll see. I just ask, I want to know your feelings. I don't care how you get there. Um, but put something that's true and earnest and sincere down for your discussion question, and I will be happy. If everybody starts having the same kind of answers, and I'll give you an example. So I had a critical thinking question on a test last year, and it was actually not one from any book. It was one I made up, and it was, what are the three areas of government that you would make changes in if you had the power to do so? And 90% of the students all put criminal justice reform, environmental reform, and the third one escapes me, but everybody's answer was very close to the same. That's how I know you're using AI. AI is not the tool that many people think it is. Um, and so really that is what you need to know about this class. Um, I'm gonna leave you with a little bit of a soapbox lecture. Um, in this class, it'll be very cut and dried from the book. I'm will do some lectures here and there, and I will share my opinions. Um, but this is a class where I want you to develop yours. I want you to think about this outside of the context of how you were raised, where you were raised. You're an adult now. Most of you are. And you are the next generation. You have no idea how much political power you actually have as young people. My generation didn't either. We were off, I don't know, drinking is really what my generation did for 10 years after school, after high school. I mean, we went to college, but and then went to work. I'm not saying we didn't do that, but a lot of my generation just drank and partied long into our 30s. And so I'm not saying, you shouldn't party. What I'm saying is be politically minded because both political parties are scared of you. Both political parties are aging the people that are running them. And you guys showed up to vote in the last couple of years. And so I just ask you to be part of that. What's going on in our nation's government and even in the state government of Oklahoma is a little wonky. It's not all constitutional. It's not all on the up and up. You whoever you support or don't support, that's not an incorrect statement. And so I ask, there is a gentleman named John F. Kennedy who said, ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. Of course, ask that question. But the question I want you guys to ask, and the statement I want to leave you with is ask not what your community can do for you, but what you can do for your community. Because your community is, I mean, that's all we really can count on right now. We cannot count on the federal government to take care of us, and do things the right way right now. Um, and we can't count on them to boost morale. That's not what they're there for. But we can help make our community a more open, a more safer place where people feel comfortable, a happier place. Um, just smiling and saying hello to somebody, inviting a student that or a person that maybe is sitting off by themselves, invite them to come sit with you. Be the light, be the change that you want to see. And that's, whether your community is here in the Oklahoma Panhandle or whether your community is in the location that you're currently in, um, think about it and think about how you can serve your community because at the end of the day, that's what makes the United States a great place to be, is the people around you. The politics have been messed up, and we're going to learn this. The politics have been messed up since it started. Um, the We'll talk about this in the upcoming weeks. Um, but the people are what make it great. Also what make it, not so great. But if we actually take care of each other, we can make a difference, at least in the people around us with our friends and families and communities. So I will stop preaching. But that's where I want to leave you with this week's lecture. You do have a discussion that is due on Wednesday, so you do have a week to complete it. That is done so that I may have people that enroll late, so that gives them time to complete it after the add date. And so, any questions, like I said, feel free to reach out to me. If you're struggling and you need some time and you can prove that you're not lying to me, I'm willing to work with you. Also, Robert Crawley, the Academic Resource Center, and then Dean Hutchinson is our Dean of Students. She is another great resource if you can't get a hold of me. If you're struggling with things outside of your academics. And I really can't think of anything else. I hope everybody has a good first couple of weeks, whether you are at high school or whether you are not in Oklahoma or whether you are here on campus, but you just decided you wanted to take this class online so you could sit in your dorm room some of the time. Please let me know how I can help you. Um, Go Aggies and have a great rest of your day.